we're very much at the waiting game stage now as far as Newcastle United's takeover is concerned. A lot of people who've been following this very closely felt that we would get a decision in the last few days, but that hasn't sort of come to pass. We now, as I say, wait for the Premier League decision. Those who are close to them, Amanda Staveley camp, they are claiming that they're still confident that it'll go through. But as I say, ultimately the Premier League will have to go through their tests. They have to take everything that's been put at them very seriously, because there's some very serious arguments have been put forward. So the Premier League have to look like they're doing the right thing. The whole lockdown situation, that hasn't helped anybody. But then I suppose the reality is we wouldn't be in this situation to start with if it wasn't for COVID-19, because Mike Ashley was probably happy to just sit and pick up money from the Premier League, the gate money, all that sort of stuff. That's all been thrown up in the air, so that means Newcastle are available for a reduced price. So Mike Ashley is definitely a willing seller, but it now boils down to whether the Premier League give this the green light. That's what the fans are waiting for, and as I say, they've waited 13 years, they can probably wait a few more days, but that decision now boils solely down to the Premier League. I mean, yes, there are a few fans getting probably nervous about this. They've been here before, remember. That's the top and bottom of this. We've all been here before, and Mike Ashley has, at the last minute, pulled out of deals. There's no doubt about it. Amanda Staveley knows that. That had happened to her. It happened to the Bin Zayed group. Peter Kenyon got so far down the track. We do know that this one is a lot further down the road though than previous bids. We've seen, this isn't speculation. That's the big thing here. We've seen the documentation. We've seen the stuff from Companies House. So we know it's quite far down the line. But yes, I can understand why fans are questioning it, and as I say, that decision now lies with the Premier League, and ultimately they will make the final decision on it. And for Newcastle fans, that wait is agonising, but you can understand the tension around the place at the moment. One big decision that needs to be made is on player contracts, and that includes the current owners. We haven't heard anything from them about anything really in this whole 2-month lockdown period. But the reality is Matty Longstaff's contract runs out next month, and Andy Carroll requires a decision on an extension. Matty Longstaff's probably the more pressing situation, I would say, because Matty Longstaff could be a player that will end up one day being worth a lot of money, potentially, and Newcastle could only pick up 400,000 or something if they let him go now. So they do need to get that addressed, because Matty Longstaff could be worth a lot of money to the current owners. He could be worth a lot of money to the next owners. So one way or the other, they have to get that contract situation sorted, or they could miss out on a big talent there.